Hi wrestling fans, thanks for clicking on the dreaded D-Rose report. It's kind of a slow news day today, so I'm going to give you what I got, and I got a little bit of some personal opinions, a little soapbox I may want to get on here in a second. But did I actually hear Todd Grisham on SmackDown say, Jerry Lee Lewis, Elvis, it's all the same? Whew, about out of touch. And is R-Truth, I don't think R-Truth is as hip as what he thinks he is. He's always asking what's up. He don't know. CM Punk, he earned his spot in the Elimination Chamber by defeating Batista on a countout. It was kind of interesting that Batista lost just because he stood in the corner for quite a while, and then as the bell rang, he waited and finally just left the ring and headed to the back, giving up his spot for the Elimination Chamber. He has other ideas, another agenda in mind. Elimination Chamber for WWE title. Sheamus versus John Cena versus Ted DiBiase versus Triple H versus Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. Elimination Chamber for the World Heavyweight title. Undertaker versus CM Punk versus Jericho versus R-Truth versus John Morrison versus Rey Mysterio. That's the way it lines out. February 3rd episode of USA Psych, starring ex-diva, former diva, Stacy Keibler did a 2.2 rating. Last week, the show with John Cena did a 3.3. I have no idea whether, I've never watched it, so I don't know whether it's all got to do with who's on there or not. Alright, Batista Undertaker for the world title is being advertised for the WWE SmackDown taping on March 30th, 2010 from Las Vegas. Taping is going to be the first since WrestleMania, since after WrestleMania. WWE has removed all mention of WCW, backup. WWE has removed all mentions of ECW from their schedule after February 23rd date, but has not added anything about NXT. I don't know whether they're going to be taking that on a ride around the United States or not. For what it's worth, Christian's being advertised for all the SmackDown events, so apparently that's where he's going. Now, whether they're going to drop the title or let him keep the title and just put the belt away in his house, I don't know. Let you know. Jim Ross on his website will be sponsoring the Monday Night Raw March 1st from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Jim Ross will likely make an appearance before the crowd that night, if not on, maybe at least on TV, or at least after the TV goes off. You never know. Haven't heard facially, just what kind of condition he's in, as he always does with WWE in his hometown. But Cheech and Chong is going to be the hosting Raw that night. Alright, Rey Mysterio versus Chris Jericho, the #1 contender match for the World Heavyweight titles, being advertised for the March 6th SmackDown, supposedly ECW live event in Washington. As noted yesterday, Road Warrior Joe Laurinaitis, he's writing a book about the Road Warrior tag team. Anyway, a press release, the issue that was issued yesterday to the station, that for the book is going to be March 11th, March 2011, that is, and the price is going to be $25.95 in the United States. Not sure elsewhere. Not sure of the date on out of the country either. Former WWE star and WCW Ron Simmons will be wrestling his retirement match tonight in Cedartown, Georgia, at the historic Parks International Championship Wrestling Show. Simmons will also be doing a Q&A with the first 100 fans that request admission for the show. And Simmons will be inducted into the Georgia Sports Hall of Fame later this year, later this month, February 20th. Jericho's second autobiography will be entitled Highlight of the Night. No word yet on when that comes out in the States, but will be released September 16th, 2010 in Canada and February 17th in the UK. Ooh, that's February 17th. It says 2011 in the UK. Long time to hold off on that. Former WWE TNA star Daivari debuted for Ring of Honor last night at the TV tapings in Philadelphia. He cut a promo forsaking his previous gimmick and ripping the people of Philadelphia. Rapper KRS-One was also at the Ring of Honor show. I might have to watch some of them things sometime. I don't get the channel on that. Not sure it was on. I'll have to check on the internet and see if I can find it. This past Thursday's, I hear it's great though, Ring of Honor in. This past Thursday's episode of TNA Impact scored a 1.2 rating, rounded up from the 1.18. The show brought in about 1.5 million viewers. As noted before, Jimmy Hart, by the way, is saying that he might return to TNA as manager for the Nasty Boys. Hart recently told Crave Online that he might be returning soon as manager of some guys again, and asked if he would be in WWE or TNA when he does return. He said most likely TNA. Alright, here's some odd things going on. Fox News has a story noting that Linda McMahon's sensational Republican opponent, Rob Simmons, not Ron, Rob Simmons, is planning to use the Eugene character against her to sway voters. Simmons intended to demand that she account for it, sources say. Linda, her campaign responded today through the spokesman Ed Petrucci. In the soap opera world of WWE, the character Eugene was developmentally disabled rather than the beaten down, pathetic character that Rob presents. Eugene was treated via scripting, and like all WWE superstars, no special privileges were given. These people, they grab at straws a lot of time, and they should just keep grabbing at straws. Hey, by the way, on Gerwick.net, they did a Wrestler of the Decade, just like a poll. And they had about 1,700, a little bit over 1,700 votes on it. Number one with 20% of the voting is Kurt Angle. Triple H was 10%, Undertaker was 15%, Edge was 7%, John Cena was 6%, Randy Orton 5%, Christian at 1%, Jericho was 9%. Everybody else I think was about, well, CM Punk was 2%, Bryan Danielson 1%. Batista, he was 1%. Samoa Joe, 1%. Rey Mysterio, surprisingly, was only 1%. AJ Styles, he ended up 6%. And Dr. Wagner Jr. was 1%. I must be missing out on Dr. Wagner. I don't know about that. All right, I got about a minute left. Shoot, I didn't think I'm not going to get the bandstand very much. Well, I'll do a little bit of it. My problem with WWE is I would rather see him kind of go back to, I don't mean just really flash back to the 80s, but I'm going to say, I'll give you an example. Hang on a minute. By doing a PG show, here's your script, about like that. If you were to do PG-13, R-rated, going back to the way it used to be with Austin, with Rock, you would have this much script. You would have a ton of storylines, a ton of angles to use, but you threw all that away and say, hey, we're just going to go with PG, which is barely thick. That's your scripts. And we want entertainment. And I don't really think that the parents, now maybe Linda, because she's running for office, she's running, Miss Cute and Clever. I don't think the fans of WWE complain that Triple H was having sex with a dead person. Now maybe they didn't want their kid to see it. Maybe we'll explain it to the kids. It's fake. It's storyline. It's fake. It's entertainment, and it's a little tongue-in-cheek matter. But I would rather see him get back to. I would love the portrayal of Bobby the Heenan, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and go back. I would like to manage some wrestlers, and help them out as much as I can. Hey, I got to get off here. I'm about 5 seconds left. I got to go.